Around Your World is a series of 10 short videos designed to give you a new look at your planet and some fresh insights into what Christian World Mission is all about. Welcome to Session 8, where we consider the need for supporting world missions.
Do you personally know a missionary? Should Christians support missionaries? What does the word support really entail? Here's what some had to say.
Now we have time for 3 or 4 more questions.
My church sends money to the missionaries every month. Isn't that enough?
Isn't that enough? Interesting? Well, let's think about that. Now let's picture a serviceman on extended overseas duty, say in Afghanistan, and the mail arrives. He eagerly opens the letter from home, and he reads the following: "Your paycheck has been deposited in the bank." Don't you think you'd be a little disappointed? I was hoping they would tell me how the family's doing, tell me the news from home, how the neighbors are, whatever. And all I get is a report about my bank account. Well, transfer that to a missionary. He's a long way from home. He's in a different culture. He might be homesick. He might be frustrated. And he receives a letter or perhaps an email which says, "This month you receive the following amount of financial support." Nothing else. Don't you think he'd ask the question, is that enough? Yes, we have another question.
What more can I do?
There are several things that we can do. I can think of 3 things while a missionary is on the field. First of all, he needs financial support. This is the most obvious thing because he has to eat. But not only does he have to eat and sleep and do all those things that we have to do, he has to buy equipment and all kind of things in order to preach the gospel. And he also has to travel a lot. And we may think it's much cheaper in other countries, but there are some countries that are actually more expensive to live in than here. So he needs financial support. The second one he needs is spiritual support. You know, the Bible tells us that we are in a spiritual warfare. And those missionaries out on the front line are in the front line of the spiritual war. And they need spiritual support. The third thing that a missionary needs is financial support, spiritual support, and emotional support. Again, he's in a different culture. He's away from the familiar things that we all take for granted. He has to do things that are against the way that he's learned for years and years. And it's very difficult. He needs our support. He needs to hear from us. But just think, when he comes back from the field, maybe he's been away 10 years. What does he need this time? First of all, he needs practical support. A missionary goes away for 10 years, he sells everything he has, he comes back, he needs a place to stay. He needs a car to drive. He needs clothes to wear. And he needs help with those things. The next thing he needs is cultural support. When people go overseas, sometimes they have cultural shock because it's so different. But when they've been away long enough, they come back expecting everything to be the same, and it's changed. And they get what they call reverse cultural shock. And a missionary coming back needs somebody to be with him, to encourage him, and to help him get over this cultural shock, and maybe to advise him on things to do and things not to do, and to do it in a supportive way. And then the third thing they need is oral support. When I say oral support, I'm not just thinking of oral speaking, but I'm thinking of listening support. Imagine a missionary coming back. He's been overseas. He's done all kind of things. He's got a lot of stories he wants to tell. And the first thing somebody says to him is, What do you think of those Dodgers? Or the New York Yankees, or whoever they're talking about, and they don't seem to care about him and what he's done and all the experiences that he's had and all that he's poured his life into reaching these people with the gospel. And they need opportunities to tell. Maybe you invite them to your Sunday school group or your church to tell about what they're doing. Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you. Great questions.
You'll find these 6 ways to support missionaries, financial, spiritual, emotional, practical, and cultural, on yourworldfacts.net. If your church supports missionaries, find out how you can help. If you've ever thought of going on a short-term missions trip, there are a large number of options available. We'll discuss them next time.
Go to our website for a closer look at what we discussed in this session, and join us for the next session as we journey together around your world.